A chance to send the Thunder home. Lillard, long-range three, and it's good! At the buzzer! Damian Lillard! Are you kidding me?
Milwaukee Bucks are acquiring all-star god Damian Lillard. The Portland Trail Blazers will be receiving Jrue Holiday for now. We'll talk about that more in a second. DeAndre Ayton, Toumani Camara, a 2029 first-round pick, and 2 pick swaps. As the Phoenix Suns make their way into this trade, they're getting Yusuf Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Nasir Little, and Keon Johnson. So I had about 12 hours to think about this trade and give my thoughts in greater details. Let's start with the Milwaukee Bucks, and we'll kind of work our way down to every team involved in this trade, and then we'll even incorporate a team or two that did not pull the trigger on Damian Lillard. From the Milwaukee Bucks perspective, I had some time to think about this. I heard a couple other perspectives as well, and here's where I land. The Milwaukee Bucks had to make this move. You know, the reality is Damian Lillard probably is going to play at least 2 years in Milwaukee. I don't see Damian Lillard demanding a trade out of Milwaukee this season, obviously, and I would assume him to give it at least one additional season. I mean, it took him 11 years to demand a trade out of Portland. I just don't see Dame Dollar doing it like that. That's just my thing. I could obviously be wrong. You know, oftentimes in life, it takes us a while to get over the hurdle and the hump of making a change in our life. But once we do it, it doesn't take as long the second time around. Anybody out there moved from a city to a new city? Oftentimes that first move is the one that you take so much time thinking over what could go wrong. And then once you finally make the move, when the next opportunity comes, you're like, man, forget it. I'm gone. I did it once. I'll do it again. So in Damian Lillard's case, I think he's going to at least give Milwaukee 2 years. So you'll get 2 years of Dame and Giannis. We're talking about from a basketball perspective, this should work easily. Dame still in his offensive prime. Giannis still in his athletically defensive prime. And I don't even know if the Greek Freak's gotten to his offensive prime yet. From an offensive perspective, I mean, outside of CJ McCollum, which he's a guy that kind of creates for himself, we've never really seen Dame have to create for someone else like he will be asked to create for Giannis. I'm assuming it to work, but I don't know that. I do not know that. Also, Khris Middleton's got to be pleased. I'm looking at this Milwaukee Bucks roster. Keep in mind, they did trade some rotational guys like a Grayson Allen to make this trade work, but they still got Bobby Portis. They obviously still got Brook Lopez, who they re-upped this summer. They still got Thanasis Antetokounmpo, who at some point in time is going to have to play. Like, I know he's probably not a real NBA player, but he plays on an NBA team. At some point, he's going to have to play some minutes with this roster in Milwaukee getting kind of top-heavy here, which if you look at the end of Damian Lillard's contract, it is going to be loaded with money. He ain't even started his new deal yet, right? So, like, if Milwaukee's planning on paying that, they got Khris Middleton for around $31, $33 million a year, and we already know what Giannis is going to command in his next deal. Milwaukee's going to be a top-heavy roster. So this is going to be a team that's going to have to pretty much make the rest of it up by committee. All right, it's going to be a top-heavy team. I do look at them as the favorites in the Eastern Conference. And look, again, I don't know how this affects Giannis. He could still easily leave Milwaukee. I think we're going to do an entire podcast dedicated to the future of the Greek Freak at some point by the end of the week. But to me, I don't think Giannis could have asked for anything else. He demanded that Milwaukee Bucks team take this thing as serious as him if they want to keep him long-term. And not even a couple weeks later, since that article's been released, the Milwaukee Bucks go make a massive trade. They trade a guy that had been really good for their franchise over the last couple years, and Jrue Holiday. And Dame's not as good a defender as Jrue. And again, Jrue was the starting point guard on a team that won a championship just a few seasons ago. You got to give Milwaukee a lot of credit for at least trying to do something new as they move off of Jrue Holiday in favor of a more offensive-focused Damian Lillard. Please let me know, what are your thoughts about Milwaukee making this move right now? There are going to be a lot of people that are opposed to the Jrue Holiday piece of the puzzle. I think it's time we talk about that in much more greater detail as he now becomes a Portland Trail Blazer for now.
I want to salute you, homie, you know, for building your own thing and doing your own thing.
Why build theirs when I believe I can build my own?
You've already done it, or I wouldn't be here.
I'm already the only elite sports and music journalist in the game today. My goal is simple, to be the best there's ever been. So, please don't go. Make sure you subscribe and follow the journey. It truly means everything to me. I tell stories, I talk music, I cover sports, I am culture, I am Pharaoh.